Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Cloud and welcome back to another video. Now today, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the brand new Call of Duty Black Ops 7 zombie map, Ashes of the Damned. Now with what I'm saying, it's going to be slightly similar to my thoughts on Call of Duty Black Ops 7, but I'm going to add a little bit more extra things that I may have missed, but talking about the map itself, not just the zombie experience like Dead Arcades 4 or Vandal Farm. For starters, let's talk about the map. Jesus Christ. It says that this is the biggest zombie map we have ever had, and I don't know if that's true or not, because with Transit in Black Ops 2, it was a very large map. However, I don't know if it's the same size as Transit or bigger. I think on how wide it is, it's definitely bigger. But I don't know if it is exactly bigger than Transit, but I'd definitely say it's wider than Transit. But the map itself is really good. Of course, with so many more different POIs. I mean, you got the lake, Janice Tower, Vandal Farm, Ashwood, Cosmo, and Exit 115. 6 locations, which I'm pretty sure in Black Ops 7 Season 1, when it comes out, I'm pretty sure Cosmo and Exit 115 will actually be a survival map. It's kind of similar to Vandal Farm, which I don't mind, even though it's kind of basically copy and paste. I don't mind it, you know. I feel like we should have a bit more survival maps because, you know, they're fun to do and, you know, they're easy high round to do. But yeah, the map is really great and I love driving around in Old Tessie. I think having that mechanic is really nice than just, you know, having a bus that, you know, drives you around automatically. I like to drive myself because you can just go around the entire map collecting those healing spores, which can give you salvage and essence, and also find these purple pods, which can get you, again, even more salvage and essence. And if you're lucky, ether tools, pack-a-punch, and even a ray gun if you're lucky. But yeah, the map itself is really great. If I ever give it on a scale of 1 to 10 how great the map is, I'm going to give it an easy 9 out of 10. I think it's probably one of the more nicer maps we've had in recent times. But like I said, you know, it's a really great map, really large, and I don't mind larger maps. You know, Transit, I never really hated Transit. I know a lot of people don't like Transit, you know, because it had a lot of missing potential. However, they basically inputted it in within Ashes of the Damned, and I think it was a great map. Next up is the zombie types. I'm pretty sure on the higher round, the Doppelgas comes back. Unless that is only in Vandal Farm for survival. If not, then I might be mistaken. But I did see it in Vandal Farm in survival. But having it back, the Doppelgas, I don't really mind it. It's a weak enemy type and it's easy to kill, so I don't mind it. The bear elite enemy, it's weird with the bear. You know, it's really weird only because I feel like sometimes it can be really easy to kill, but other times it can be really hard to kill. Of course, the best way to kill it is with, you know, wonder weapons. For example, the ray gun does a really great job, especially on the higher rounds. But 9 times out of 10, you're most likely going to be using the hand cannon score shriek. And of course, the next zombie type, which is the Ravengers. I don't know how to put it, but they're basically just evolved vermin from Black Ops 6. They are weak, but they are fast and jumpy. They can be a bit stressful for newer players, you know, less experienced players, I will admit. But for people that know what they're doing, it can be really easy to take them out, especially when there's a max ammo round. There's not really that many. And yes, they are fast, but you can easily round them up if you're in a big enough area. So I don't really mind them. However, I kind of do miss, you know, the dog round, you know, the Hellhounds, because we haven't got that since Cold War, and I really miss having those dog rounds. So maybe they might come back in the next map, which will come out in Season 1, which will come out on December the 4th. So maybe, but I don't really think so. But, you know, the Ravengers, I don't mind them. Cool enemy type. They're basically just evolved denizens, really, so I don't really mind them. But I don't really mind the newer enemy types. Like I said, they could be much worse, but I don't mind them. Of course, Eva Klaus is back in Ashes of the Damned just for once appearance, just to get the Civilizer chip, to get Klaus, to get the free Necrofood Gauntlet. I don't mind Uber Clouds coming back, but like I said, if you're doing the Easter egg speedrunning it, you're most likely going to have like Blue Rarity Pack 1, which can be enough to kill it. However, if you don't have that, you might struggle killing it, especially when it shoots those electric bolts at you. They can be really annoying. Now, the Easter egg steps. Oh my god, I like the Easter egg steps a lot. You know, doing the Easter eggs to get to the boss battle, I like that a lot, you know. I really do enjoy it. I feel like sometimes it can be a bit annoying, especially on solo, especially the lightning bit, where you have to grab 3 zombies into the lightning and just suck their souls out. I don't mind it, but again, it can be quite fidgety, especially when you know have one zombie on you and you're trying to, you know, do the part where you launch the rockets from Cosmo, you know, the lightning steps as well, trying to, you know, do that rotating skull in Van Dorn Farm. They can be annoying on solo, but I have done it on solo, and I even got to round 21 with all the Easter egg steps completed, boss battle ready. Doing the Easter egg with friends can be a bit fidgety and awkward, especially if your friends don't know what you're doing. I have done it with friends. Unfortunately, not the boss battle because I got kicked out. So shortly, I will get to the boss battle and a little bit of more about bugs. But apart from that, if your friends don't know what you're doing with the Easter egg, you know, it can be a bit awkward and annoying. Especially with me because, you know, I'm the hardcore player when it comes to zombies. I don't like saying it, but compared to all my friends that I play with, I'm better than all of them. I hate saying it because it makes me feel like a shitty person by saying that I am the best zombie player that they know, and it is true, but I hate saying it because it is true. But I don't like saying it, like I said before many of times, but they don't know what they're doing, and it can be a bit awkward sometimes, you know, when you're directly trying to help them, you know, do the Easter egg, you know. You can be saying, you know, can you train the zombie? Or can you help me with this certain bit? And they just don't know what they're doing because they don't directly, you know, watch a video or a guide to, you know, maybe help them understand a bit more better. So with that in mind, doing it with friends is a bit more annoying, but I don't mind it because it's something that I do enjoy. But like I said before, it can be quite fidgety and annoying. With the boss battle now, I know it had a big nerf with the boss battle, and I don't mind the nerf because it made me be able to beat the boss battle, but at the same time, it kind of pissed me off, only because a boss battle is meant to be hard, hence why it's a boss. A boss battle was never meant to be easy. The only time you can first try an Easter egg is the giant from Black Ops 3 and Liberty Falls from Black Ops 6. Those are the only exceptions, you know, you had to first timing an Easter egg. Maybe Ascensions as well, and maybe Call of the Dead, like the older ones were a bit more easier to do, not the hardcore ones, like, I don't know, Die Rise, or, you know, Origins, you know, those steps take a lot more longer to do, because, you know, you have to get all the staffs in Origins, or DE, you have to get all the bones in DE. So, people need to realise that if you spend hours getting yourself to the boss battle and you die, don't blame it on the boss. Blame it on you for being shit at the game, right? Boss battles are not meant to be easy. They take many attempts, hence why it took me 36 attempts just to beat the Tomb boss battle, because it was generally hard to do. With this boss battle, it took me 3 attempts to do. And that is kind of average to do, you know. Sometimes take players up to 3 to 5 attempts to do. And the fact that they nerf it is really annoying because people need to realise you ain't going to first time an Easter egg. No one's not going to do it unless, like I said before, you're doing an easy Easter egg step. But no one's going to first time an Easter egg. And people need to realise that. The bugs in Black Ops 7 Zombies, I haven't really experienced any bugs other than getting kicked midway through the boss battle. And I don't know if that's because of my internet or Black Ops 7 entirely. I don't really know, but apart from that, there hasn't really been any bugs, you know. With the Easter egg steps, there's been no bugs. Boss battle, there's been no bugs. I haven't experienced any bugs yet, so that's kind of a, you know, a plus for Black Ops 7. The new wonder weapon, the Necroflow Gauntlet, like I said, I think it's going to be the coolest wonder weapon we've got since the Apothicon Servant from Black Ops 3. It's a really cool wonder weapon. You know, a skull gauntlet that sits on your hand, shoot it, hold down the LT button, explodes, reload it, sucks in the bullets. You can never run out of ammo with it. Such a cool wonder weapon. It really is a cool wonder weapon. And it might be my favourite wonder weapon we've had in years, you know. It might be even my top 5 favourites. It's just such a cool wonder weapon to have. Up next is the new perk Wisp T. Fucking hell. It is wank. It is actually wank. If anyone genuinely likes Wisp T, there's something wrong with you. It's the worst perk we've seen in years. Heck, I think Tombstone and Who's Who has better use than Wisp T. The only thing I can see good about Wisp T is the healing partner, but then again, it takes about like 3 minutes just for the recharge to come back. But with everything that I have said, Ashes of the Damned is a great map. I would go and say Ashes of the Damned is easily like, I would say a high A or a low S tier map. It was a really great map. I personally enjoyed it. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I did. I think the aspect, feel, and the style that it had is, of course, similar to what we had in Cold War. But I think since Cold War, it's the nicest, you know, art style we had since probably Black Ops 3. Anyways, that is my 4 thoughts on Ashes of the Damned. I can't hate it, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, then of course subscribe and have a massive time. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!